everyone. I'm Kelly Eldridge, RaceQuest Travel co-founder, and today I'm excited to be joined by our friends coming to you from South Africa, Marcus van Niekerk and Johan Dippenaar. RaceQuest is teaming up with them as their official USA partner for one of the most beloved and really highly rated events on the Ironman circuit, IRONMAN South Africa, which also happens to be the IRONMAN Africa Championship. So Marcus and Johan, welcome.
Kelly, thank you so much. It's an honor to have a chat with you guys, and yeah, looking forward to share some knowledge and also to host you and your team and your guests in South Africa next year.
Fantastic. Well, we're thrilled to be working with you. We've got quite an informative show today, so I want to go ahead and just dive right in. In terms of what our content will be today, we're going to cover some topics, including the top 3 reasons to really do this race. And I think we all agree that there are dozens of reasons to do this race, but we're just going to cover the highlights of top 3. We're going to give you some race insights, kind of a course preview with this wonderful expert knowledge that we have today with us. And also we're going to talk about the best way to do this race in terms of just convenience and the ease and not having to worry about the logistics. And that would be with one of our race week tours for this event. So awesome. Let's just dive right in. Let's first of all, let's talk about just why this race is such a jewel. And I know that we were talking before the call that this is going to be the 16th edition of the race. And it's really, I think, obviously due to this incredible venue. So Marcus, would you like to talk about a bit about the course?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kelly. Well, first and foremost, I think it's important, and yes, it's quite a proud thing to say that it's rated as the 2nd best race venue on the international Ironman circuit. And I think it's for various reasons. Firstly is because I don't think you get much more beautiful race venues as this. I am sure there are many beautiful venues out there, but it's really something majestic about the actual Ironman South African Championships course. It's beautiful. The bike lane goes down right next to the ocean at some stages. Yes, it's a beautiful route. On days there could be some wind on the bike route, but that's all part of the character of this route. I know, for instance, the swim, it used to be a 2-lapper where you had to do a run section on the beach, but now it's a one lap 3.8 kilometer swim, and it's a relatively fast swim as well. Pros generally come in at about 46 to 47 minutes. That's on the swim, and then on the bike, I know, as far as I remember, I think the Ironman or the bike route record is at about a 4:19 thereabout. But having said that, they also they changed the route ever so slightly. We had the Ironman 70.3 World Championships here in 2018 last year, where Jan Frodeno won the men's race, and it was then they played around with different options for the bike route. And what happened was they then decided they're going to change the bike route for the African Championships as well. So it's a double lapper 90-kilometer bike route with about 800 meters of vertical gain per lap. So there's a fair bit of climbing, but still it's a fast route. And then going from the bike to the run, as we all know, it's actually rated as the best run route or run course in the world. So once again, something to be proud about. And the spectators on the day it's something to experience. Port Elizabeth is also referred to as the friendly city, and you can really experience that when you're on the run route. And myself, having done this course about 5 years, or I've raced this race about 5 years before, and it's an amazing experience.
Incredible. Well, as you mentioned, the crowd support is just phenomenal, and the best Ironman races, when we think about it, right? It's huge community involvement, huge community support, just really makes all the difference. And Johan, another reason that we really love this race is that there's 75 Kona qualifying spots on offer. So, would you like to touch on that? I know it's a popular race with the pro field as well, with the $150,000 prize purse.
Yeah, and I think the timing of the race is so good. I mean, it's nice and early season. Straight off the bat after Kona, the guys are nice and hungry, and to have 75 slots up front, you can really set out your year from the get-go. And I mean, with 75 slots up for offer, it really is an attractive race for some of the top guys racing, and it's a perfect course to do that. It's like Marcus said, it's nice and fast. It's flat and on the run, and yeah, it's up for grabs for the guys who's really hungry to go to Kona.
I think it's pretty remarkable too that, you know, we have an Ironman professional of the caliber like Ben Hoffman who just raves about this event. And Marcus, tell us a little bit about Ben Hoffman's experience here.
So Kelly, I think it's great that you mentioned this because as much as you know he's a local in your country, we'd like to think of him as a local in South Africa, and I can guarantee he's arguably one of the most or highly ranked crowd favorites, just because he's raced this event 4 times. He won it twice, and then last year he first did an event with Sebastian Kinley called the Cape Epic. It's also under the Ironman umbrella, and unfortunately I think he came off his mountain bike one day, and he didn't have the best last few weeks from that event leading up to last year's event. And just to show you what a character he is, he actually walked the whole marathon. And it's just, I don't know if it's something to do with the South African public, and it just showed a different side to him. And I'm not criticizing. All I'm saying is, you know, some people would pull the plug and just call it a day. But Ben decided he owes it to the crowd, and he owes it to the fans out there. And he walked the marathon, and he came back in 2019 earlier this year in April, and he finished the race, but not just again by completing the course. He actually won it by quite a fair margin, and he's outright a crowd favorite in South Africa. The South Africans are really crazy about him, and it seems like he's really crazy about this course as well.
Yes, that's
so awesome. And there's been from this past April, I believe, with his big victory. Incredible. Well, I think, you know, for all of us who are involved in destination racing and race week tours and travel for athletes and families, you know, one of the things that we really look for is, you know, is this a destination that would present opportunities to do more than just go and race? You know, when you make the effort to go on a race week tour of this nature, you want to feel that you're experiencing perhaps a different culture, a different country, different language, different, atmosphere actually. And I think this presents a wonderful destination for athletes and spectators who really want to get away and, you know, be part of something extremely special. So I think, guys, I'll talk a little bit about the fact that one of the things we're going to offer on our 7-night tours for this race is the Big 5 Safari.
Yeah, I think one of the key priorities for us when we set up this specific tour was to ensure that we present the African culture as much as possible. And such a big part of the African culture is our wildlife and everything that goes along with that. So we included a breakout safari ride for all of our guests on the 7-night tour. What it essentially entails is we've got a game farm just about 25 minutes drive just outside Port Elizabeth called Scotia. They host the Big 5, which includes the lion, the rhino, the elephant, the leopard, and the buffalo. And you know, it's an absolutely amazing experience. You're guaranteed to see the Big 5 and the way that it's set up. And they actually hosted this tour at the 70.3 Worlds last year as well in 2018. And it was a huge success, and it just absolutely showcased the beauty of the African wildlife and all its magic. And straight after that, what we plan to do after the safari experience is just give the guys, the 7-night guys, the opportunity to have an evening dinner in the bushveld itself. You know, just under the stars with big fires burning and surrounded by all these wild animals. And it's absolutely an amazing experience for guys traveling to South Africa.
Oh, incredible. And I think the 7-night tour that's put together is just going to be phenomenal. It's just so much more than just strictly training for the race, traveling to the race, and dealing with your race goal. But you actually have some activities that are local that can really give you a feel for what the country is all about, and it's really exciting to be able to combine that. So a really great advantage to the 7-night tour. So I think we want to touch on, I know Marcus gave us a bit of a preview on some race insights with the swim course being one loop, of course, from Hobie Beach, and talk a little bit about water temperature, wetsuits, what's the water like. Give us a little bit of detail on that, if you would, Marcus.
Okay, awesome. So the water is relatively chilly, but I suppose that also depends from where in the world you come. But basically, what it comes down to, Kelly, is like I said, it's a 1-lap swim course. The cutoff is standard Ironman procedure. It's a 2 hours 20 minutes cutoff. It's a wave start. So the pros goes off, and then the male pros goes off first, and then the female pros goes off, and then it's a rolling start, just to give the people that's slightly intimidated by the swim leg, just to give them a better and a more comfortable send-off. So yes, it does start from Hobie Beach. You'll go just straight into the swim, break through the surf for about 300 meters before you do a left, a 90 degree left-hand turn, and there will be about 4 markers along the way. So once you turn left after heading 300 meters, and you'll turn left for about 1,600 meters, and you'll swim to what they call the 6-pack. Now, the 6-pack is basically, from an aerial angle, it literally looks like 6 cans in the water. It's concrete pillars that used to be part of a pier, but now you only see the pillars in the ocean. So you'll head left for about 1,600 meters, turn left back towards the shore for 200 meters, and then hit another left to swim in the direction that you came for about 1,500 meters, where you'll do your first and last right and turn back to the beach. So it's an awesome swim, and the water temperatures is usually around 18, 19 degrees, but sometimes it could be a bit warmer than that as well.
Fantastic. So transition, is there anything that we need to know in particular about the T1 or anything?
No, so I must say, there's one thing about the organizer or the race director of IRONMAN South Africa. He is extremely pedantic, is an understatement. So he's very particular in delivering the best possible experience for the athlete. So he focuses on the athlete and everything but the athlete. So he makes 100% sure that everything is 100% safe, everything is 100% set up and calculated. So once you exit the swim, you'll run up a few stairs. You'll run through water baths and showers just to get the excess or most of the salt water off your body. And then you'll grab your transition bag where you can proceed to your change tent. There will be volunteers. It looks quite funny, but it's very effective. Those struggling to get off their wetsuits, they can simply run up to the volunteers, sit on their bum, and the volunteers just rip it off their legs, and then they can proceed to change that. They'll run around the transition to where their bike is racked, and then obviously to the bike mount, or exit the transition onto the bike mount line, where they will turn left and then head out on the bike route.
That's awesome. And it sounds like of course, the volunteers are plentiful and very, very helpful for the athletes on the day. Now, on the bike course, I know that we do have a new route. I understand it to be a bit faster, a little bit smoother. There are portions with newly resurfaced road, and it's going to be 2 loops. Yep.
That is 100%. Yes, it's a very fast route, and usually there's a trend where earlier in the day, usually the weather is divine. It's absolutely flawless, and yes, we do have days where the flawless weather just continues throughout. The one wind that you don't want on the bike route is the easterly wind, but yet again, it also adds to the whole experience, the atmosphere, and then obviously if it blows for one, it blows for all. That's something that's just worth mentioning. But yes, they did resurface parts of the road just to make 100% sure it's on world-class circuit, world-class standards. That was especially also for the 70.3 World Champs of last year. But yes, it's a very fast route, and the hills aren't. You don't get really aggressive steep climbs. It's very undulating. So although there's 860 odd meters of climbing on a lap, it's very undulating. So you really accumulate those the vertical ascent miles or meters without you even knowing it.
Yes, and I think one of the tips that we could provide to people that are considering this race would be to train for a left-hand bottle as well as a right-hand bottle, perhaps, on the course in terms of volunteers handing bottles or changing bottles.
Kelly, very valid point you're making there. So in South Africa, we drive on the left-hand side of the road, as opposed to you guys that's obviously on the right. And so yes, that's the one thing that your guests will have to keep in mind when they do race here. You'll be grabbing it with your left hand instead of your right hand, unless they get to a water point that's in the middle of the road. But I can almost guarantee you 99.9% of them in the past have been on the side of the road, because you don't want any obstructions on the middle, in the middle of the road.
Right. Okay. Excellent. And then for the run course, I know we have a 4-loop route set up that's through the neighborhoods there in Port Elizabeth, and of course, tremendous crowd support all the way, all day. And you might want to talk a bit about that, and also what's offered at aid and all the details of the run.
Okay. Awesome. Sorry, Johan.
No, okay, I could just add on to the run course, and then Marcus can maybe just take it from there. So the run course is a 4-loop course, which makes it a spectator even, and it's also fantastic for the athletes that come to the end of the latter end of the race. The crowd support is just phenomenal, and the guys really climb into the streets, and they create that tunnel effect at later stages of the race, and it's absolutely spectacular. The run route's fast as well. It's nice and flat. There's one slight little bump in the hill as you turn towards the university side, but other than that, if you're up for a run record, this is the place that you want to come try it out. Like I said, and by the time that you head onto the run course, the whole of Port Elizabeth ascends down to this area, and it's just a fantastic atmosphere.
Awesome. Yeah, and just with regards to the aid stations on the run, the aid stations are approximately every 2.5 kilometers. So that's just short of 2 miles. And it's a mix of different products. So the transition exit, there will be a water point right as you exit with only water sachets. So it's nice to spray yourself down once again, just to cool off the body's core temperature. And then your first aid station will be at Admiralty Way, which is basically a street name, with water sachets, Coca-Cola. They've got Biogen, like a carbohydrate drink. They've got energy gels. They've got energy bites, it's all set up. So you'll start with water sachets, then cola, then a few Biogen products, and then cola, and then water sachets again, and then the same for the water or the aid station just after that. Same story. Water sachets. Got a combination of water sachets, Coca-Cola, Biogen gels, Biogen fruit chews or sports chews, and then the last one, which is about it's in Lodge Road, which is obviously further down the run route. They've actually got they're mixing it up a bit with they've got some sponges to cool you down, sandwiches. You mentioned earlier about the fruits and potatoes that's available there, and that just breaks up the whole sweet experience that you've been, or the sweet sensations that you've been putting into your mouth the whole day. So it's definitely, there's a wide variety of products available, and it's also very, very well maintained. The aid stations, they really pride themselves in delivering a world-class experience for the athletes on the day.
Fantastic. Well, I think we've covered quite a bit there with the course, which is outstanding information for people who are doing this race or who are thinking about doing this race. So the last real key piece or key ingredient to what we think would make a very successful week there in South Africa would be the logistics and travel component. And that's where we put our passion and energy is into creating a great race week for both athletes and spectators. And I think what's been developed is just going to be phenomenal. We have, with RaceQuest, we're offering USA America's athletes the classic or the ultimate race week tour, so that you can literally leave the driving to us and leave the logistics to us, and we'll be your Sherpa in terms of just helping you. It's great for not only those of you bringing groups, but also solo travelers. If you want to come out to race this event, it will make it quite easy for you, and you can travel with confidence and with ease. So I think we want to touch on some key highlights of the Ultimate Tour first. It's a 5-night or a 7-night, really a very luxurious option. It's at the 5-star Boardwalk Hotel, VIP all the way, really beautiful atmosphere. It's very limited in availability, though, because it is, as you were speaking with me, there's going to be race headquarters. So a lot of the pro athletes will stay there. It's right at the race start. And so that's, if you want the convenience of that, we have that for you. And of course, we're going to be including all those services that you've come to expect from a race week tour that we're involved with. And that would be, the airport shuttle will pick you up from the Port Elizabeth Airport, take you to the hotel. We're going to have that Big 5 safari experience and dinner for the 7-night guests. We'll also do a welcome dinner. There are course previews, light training with the group. With the boardwalk especially, you have 2 swimming pools. You have a huge menu of what I call wellness services. You've got massage, you have spa, you have a beautiful gym, you have on-site dining there as well. And we do daily breakfast, of course, bike mechanic, physiotherapist, really all of your ground transportation that you might need during your week. And the other thing that we'll provide is when you complete the race and you go to T2 and check out your bike and bag, we'll take those for you and return them to the hotels for safe storage. So Marcus, give us a bit of a taste of what our spectators can expect when they take the tour.
Sure, Kelly. So we've got actually 2 options available. So we've got our own fan tour experience. So we'll look after the people from when the swimmers start their race, or from when the athletes start off their swim. We'll look after the athletes, not the athletes, I beg your pardon, the spectators. Once they've seen their loved ones come out the water into transition and onto the bike route, they've got an option of either going back to their hotels, having breakfast, just maybe relaxing for a bit before coming out to what we call our fan tour experience area, where we'll have the necessary seating. There'll be shade in the form of tents or gazebos and a whole range of different refreshments for them, just to make sure they're also enjoying the day. Because let's not kid ourselves or fool ourselves that for the athlete itself, it can become quite a time-consuming and at times a selfish hobby. So just to make sure that the spectators also feel looked after and important on the day. So it's a long day for them as well. Just hanging around and supporting the general athlete and also their loved ones in particular. But it's something that we really pride ourselves on, to try and basically just make them feel like they're VIP for the day. And then, having mentioned VIP, then for those folk who want to or who are interested, we also have our official IRONMAN VIP add-on, if I can call it that, and that includes things like a specific, very exclusive viewing area on the pier. That would be the pier to your left as you start the swim. If you're on the swim course and you look to your left, it's the pier running into the ocean. So you have a VIP viewing area there. Once you're done there, you have the breakfast at the Blue Waters Cafe, which overlooks transition. And then once you finish the breakfast, you actually have access to what they call the Boathouse Club, which is a little clubhouse inside the actual transition, which is really amazing. You can see the guys come past. And then from a certain time in the day, Ironman still needs to confirm the time. You can have access to their official Ironman VIP section, which includes all food or drinks. And then I think the most special out of all benefits for the VIP package is the fact that when your athlete does finish, you actually have, and no one else except if they are on the VIP package or tour, you can medal your athlete, which is a major thing for some people. It was a massive success and hit at the 70.3 World Champs last year, and I know there are some people that would really love to take us up on that offer.
Yes, absolutely. We'll have that available when people are booking. We can include that as request that as an add-on, and we'll take care of that with you in terms of including those particulars into your VIP upgraded package for this event. And the other thing that we want to mention is that if you do book the 7-night Ultimate Tour, that RaceQuest is going to provide an OGO endurance travel backpack for athletes and spectators, and it's really quite a nice bag. It'll make your packing and your travel quite easy. So that's another nice advantage of that version of the tour. We also have the Classic Tour, which is a comfortable, modern hotel, the Radisson Blu. It's 4-star Superior Hotel. We're going to do 5-night and 7-night options for this as well. It's absolutely loaded with value. It includes the services I mentioned, airport shuttle pickup, the daily breakfast, and then Marcus and Johan will be offering the frequent shuttles. It's quite close, would you say, to the race start?
Yeah, it's about a quarter mile, nothing more than that, Kelly.
Fantastic. So we have a couple of really outstanding options. You can see that the Radisson is quite nice. Perhaps the rooms are a bit smaller than what you would have over at the Boardwalk. But if that is not, you're high on your priority list, we do have that available for you at the Radisson. And they also have a really quite nice spa, exercise room, dining, everything you need. So I want to touch on, guys, if we can, really the 7-night tour benefits, because we all know that when you're traveling, especially for us internationally, you're going to need some time for your body to make the adjustment in terms of time zone. And I believe right now in South Africa, well, you are 6, depending on our time here, you're 6 to 7 to 8 hours ahead of us. So we know that we need a day for every hour that you're ahead in terms of time zone for the body to really adjust. So we do recommend the 7-night tours, whether it's the Classic or the Ultimate. What you're going to get with that is 2 additional nights. You can acclimate, you can relax, rest, just take it easy. Have your bike looked after, and just really get everything dialed in. We do include that Big 5 safari experience, which I just think is unbeatable. And then we've actually had much feedback from our past travelers who tell us that our 7-night tours, regardless of where they are in the world, you just tend to turn up more refreshed on race day. You feel rested, you feel happy, relaxed, and truly it results in a better performance on race day. So I think we would all agree that that's the way to go. So in terms of just booking, if you're from the Americas, you want to get into this race, you want to do the tour, all you have to do is go to race-quest.com, check it out, give us a call at 1-855-TRAV-NOW. We're happy to help you with your arrangements and answer any questions that you might have. And I think we probably want to just touch on the fact that entries for this race, they do go quickly. They are separate from the tour, and you can look to Ironman and the race website page for your entry. And if you have any questions about that, just let us know. The other note that I did want to mention is you might be thinking, well, what do I need to do to be able to travel to South Africa? If you're from the USA, for example, you're going to just need to have a valid passport that's valid for at least 6 months beyond the date that you're going to depart from South Africa to return home. And I understand that presently you don't need a visa, you don't need anything in particular other than making sure you have that good passport and of course your ID. We provide you with packing lists. We provide you with newsletters. We could do another webinar with Marcus and Johan to really drill into the course, pre-travel arrangement if you need that. And we just want to do everything that we possibly can to help you make this race so easy and so enjoyable. So we do have a deadline for this. We are going to be taking bookings starting today and all the way through November. There are a limited number of places on the tour, so you really do need to act quickly, jump on this, and we would love to be able to meet you March 24th, 2020 to pick you up at the airport there, and we can help you with all of your flight arrangements as well. So Marcus and Johan, thank you so much for presenting Ironman South Africa to us and to our audience. It's going to be first class in every way, and we do look forward to seeing you soon. So thank you both guys for an excellent course presentation there on Ironman South Africa.
Oh, it's a big pleasure, Kelly, and thank you for having us.
Thanks, Kelly. I'm really looking forward to hosting you guys in March.
Absolutely. Sounds great. My pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
All right, Jose.
Take care.